Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM 2 News at 5 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
And I'm Whitney Ward. Thank you for being here. Let's begin tonight with a look at weather. Our summer-like weather continued into Monday. Record highs expected this week.
Yeah, there's also a chance of seeing some thunderstorms in parts of the inland northwest. For more on what we can expect, let's send things straight over to Chief Meteorologist Jeremy the Goose. Sport the glasses today, Jeremy.
Oh, Mark, that's because I spent my morning getting metal pulled out of one of my eyes. So, you know, it's long story, but here we are. We've got some of those thunderstorms, so let's dive in and talk about them. You can see it, blue skies and thunderstorms. This is a classic summer pattern, and here we are experiencing more summer-like weather. Right now, we've got some of those storms kind of making their way up toward Grand Coulee. I thought these would hold together a little bit better, but I do think you'll wind up eventually seeing a rumble of thunder up there. Davenport along Highway 2, you're seeing some of that heavier rain. Here in Spokane, we saw a storm move through Liberty Lake and then just kind of fall apart. Got a storm just north of Athol. That storm is also falling apart, but man, this has been an active afternoon for much of North Idaho. Watching yet another cell kind of work its way through Wallace and then one making their way into Montana. So yep, very, very, very active weather pattern, and we're going to hang on to those storms for the rest of this evening. Very kind of scattered in nature, eventually falling apart. And tomorrow, guess what? It's another one of those days where it's sunny in the morning, showers in the afternoon. We're just kind of in that pattern the next few days. So think 80s each day, isolated thunderstorms each afternoon. And if you see those, well, your temperature's trend a bit cooler. If you don't, you're up in the mid 80s. It's just that way.
All right, Jeremy, thank you very much. Now to Kootenai County, where voters are preparing for Election Day tomorrow, and one of the most talked about ballot items is renewing a $25 million levy for Coeur d'Alene Public Schools.
KREM 2's Janelle Finch is joining us now live from Coeur d'Alene with more on where voters stand. Janelle?
Mark and Whitney, people in support of the levy tell me it would be devastating and detrimental if this levy fails tomorrow. Tuesday's vote is a second attempt at passing the $25 million levy. Back in March, it failed by 2%.
As of right now, everything's on the line.
According to CDA Public Schools, 25% of the operating budget is at stake in this vote. If the levy fails, the district says over 100 jobs could be cut and extracurriculars could be defunded. Incoming Lake City High student body president Luke Sharon says these are the things that mold students.
These electives that have really allowed us to be who we are today, who has allowed me to be the leader I am today.
CDA Public Schools says it spends $1.5 million on extracurriculars. Parent Stacy Armstrong has students in sports. She hopes voters pass the levy Tuesday.
We talk about it every single day of what am I going to do next year, Mom, if there's no sports, and how are we going to make this happen, and what about those kids that are in arts and drama and band and all of it.
Marie Nail supports the levy from the perspective of a North Idaho realtor. She says passing the levy could benefit Kootenai County home values.
As a mom, a homeowner, a taxpayer, and a realtor, I can tell you absolutely without any uncertainty, the value of your home is going to be directly correlated to the strength of our public schools.
In Tuesday's election, Kootenai County voters will consider the levy without a perpetuity clause. This means even if it passes, the levy would be back up for another vote in 2 years. I also spoke to people today who are not in favor of the levy. Those folks did not want to go on camera, but one person who has grandkids in the district did tell me that he feels the district could have been more responsible with their spending before asking voters for more money. Live in Coeur d'Alene, Janelle Finch, KREM 2 News.
All right, Janelle, thank you. And over in Rathdrum, the Lakeland School District also trying to pass levies related to their budget.
The first is a 2-year, $9.5 million supplemental levy. If it passes, it will cover maintenance and operations items outside of the district's allotted funds. It will also cover nearly 2/3 of staff wages. Lakeland is also running a separate 2-year levy for building maintenance. That one is budgeted at $1.15 million. Both go to the voters tomorrow. And happening in less than an hour, the Spokane City Council is taking up a resolution related to homeless encampments, specifically where they can and cannot be.
Initiative 2023-4 would amend Spokane Municipal Code that prohibits camping underneath or within 50 feet of any railroad viaduct located within Spokane Police Downtown's precinct. The amendment would extend that prohibition to any area with 1,000 feet of any school, public park, playground, or child care facility. Council could decide to adopt or reject the amendment during their meeting tonight. They could also send it to voters for them to decide. We'll have more on what they decide coming up on KREM 2 News at 10 and 11 o'clock tonight.
The state of Washington.
Well, the race is on for the next governor of Washington. Last week, Dr. Raul Garcia launched his campaign in Seattle, and today he announced his candidacy in Spokane, joining the growing list of candidates. Dr. Garcia, a Yakima emergency room physician, spoke about his plan to address the homelessness issue in the state.
Taking individuals that have mental health and drug addiction out into a different world where they can succeed and come back to their families and to our community. I call that a triple play. A triple play that includes mental health, drug addiction, and housing, and cannot be separate from each other.
Garcia previously ran for governor in 2020, where he finished 5th. Dr. Garcia's announcement now comes 2 weeks after Governor Jay Inslee said he will not seek a 4th term.
Garcia joins Richland School Board member Simi Bird, who announced back in November that he plans to run. On the Democratic side, State Lands Commissioner Hillary Franz also announced to run.
And State Attorney General Bob Ferguson, also a Democrat, launched an exploratory campaign indicating he is most likely getting ready to run as well.